Welcome back. Today we're going to be learning how to bench press. So before we start the video, we kind of set up the rack to accommodate Faith here. You can see the catches are high enough that it'll catch if you fail, but not too high to where it's going to impede your rep. And then these are set at a good height where you can lift off. I'll kind of show you that later, but so to start off, you're just going to want to sit down on the bench. I'll have you sit back, and we'll kind of see the 5 points of contact should be your feet are on the floor, your butt is on the bench, your back is also on the bench, and your head is also on the bench. So that's kind of a good benchmark to make sure you have good form and you're stable. All right, so if you just want to grab the bar about shoulder width, maybe a little bit wider apart. On a normal barbell, there's going to be like little marks here, kind of so you can gauge where you are on the bar. And you're just going to want to grab those probably about shoulder width apart like this. So she's just going to push straight out of the rack to unrack the weight. And she saw how before it was behind her head, she kind of brought it forward to be in line with her chest. So I'll just have you do a rep. As she's going down, her elbows get to 45 degrees. She brings the bar all the way down to her chest. And her elbows aren't flaring out too much. They're kind of staying closer to her body. That's perfect. And as she goes up, it's kind of staying in a pretty decent straight line, maybe a little bit of arc, but that's kind of how you want it. All right, so I'll have you come back up to the top and stop there. So at the top of the rep, you want your elbows to be completely straight out, and then to finish the rep, you push back into the catches, and then lower it down. So just you want to make sure you push back into the catches so that you don't accidentally miss one. All right, so now going into spotting the rep, you'll stand behind them, kind of like this, and sometimes they may ask for a lift off, so you just lift the bar out of the rack with them, kind of like that, and then they start going down into the rep. You can kind of follow them if it's a lot of weight, otherwise you can kind of just stand back and watch them a little bit. But basically you're just going to want to spot them with kind of like a switch grip like this, and then just pretend to fail a rep really quick. If they're failing, you can kind of just slowly help them up, make sure they get all the way up, and then pull the bar back for them, just so they make sure they get into catches. All right, so I guess some common mistakes are with wrists, you want them to be stacked like this, not all the way back like this. It's just gonna help with power and drive through the whole arm. You wanna make sure it comes all the way down to your chest. You don't want your elbows to flare out too much at all. You want them to stay pretty close to your body. And then once you come up here, you want all your arm to be completely straight. When you rack it, you don't want to like kind of swing back at all, because then you could miss the catches and that would not be good. So